Joining me right now is the head of U.S. policy research at Cornerstone Macro, Andy Laperriere. Andy, it's great to have you this morning. Thanks so much for being here. Republicans are calling that plan in terms of IRS surveillance unworkable when it comes to raising revenue. Does it make a dent? What's your take on this part of the plan? I want to get your take overall on the spending plan and where we are as well.
Yeah, I think they're going to end up dropping this provision. It is controversial. And with Manchin pushing back on the overall size and now talking, I think we're talking about a number that's likely to come in a little under $2 trillion. They have less controversial ways of raising the money. So I think that this proposal will end up getting dropped. Clearly there's plenty of controversy with when you're raising $2 trillion in taxes, but I think they have other ways of doing it that are going to get a lot less attention than this one. And so I think ultimately this thing gets dropped.
So I want to get your take on where the tax increases will be. But first, what do you feel about the president making cuts to the $3.5 trillion spending plan? We've got this new proposal now scaling back on programs favored by the progressives like free 2-year community college. I know that you say it crams in $4 trillion in spending into a $2 trillion package, creating larger structural deficits. There are certainly more gimmicks here where they're suggesting packages go away after a year or two when likely they're not going to go away.
Well, right. That I think is going to, this is really the big question, I think, at this point. The overall, and we could talk about the taxes, but I think that, that roughly we have a pretty good sense of what that's going to look like. I think we have a pretty good sense on the overall price tag. And so the question is, well, what's the real price tag? Is the price tag, $2 trillion, or is it $4 trillion stuffed into $2 trillion? And what the White House outlined yesterday to congressional Democrats is more like $4 trillion stuffed into $2 trillion. And so the big question is Joe Manchin going to go for that? He's expressed concerns about the debt and deficits, and this would create either larger structural deficits or the need for more revenue down the road. So I think they're going to end up having to scale back actual programs, not just the price tag, in order to win Manchin's support. But I think that's the biggest remaining question right now, is how much is it really going to cost, and do they what gets dropped that so far the White House hasn't dropped?
So, Andy, I know that Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema have been among the more vocal senators to say, look, this is too expensive and we don't want to see taxes go this higher. It'll crimp economic growth. But I understand there are other Democrats also who are pushing back. There are about 5 of them, I heard yesterday, overall. But, Andy, let me ask you your take on where the tax increases will be. And is the SALT deduction back in there? I know that they wanted to raise $400 billion for that tax, for that bank surveillance, to partly pay for the SALT deduction going back in.
Yeah, I think it's pretty unlikely that they're going to fully restore the SALT deduction, but I think they have to do something on SALT in order to win over some Democrats from some of the high tax states like New York and New Jersey. So I'm guessing that they raised the threshold. Right now there's a $10,000 SALT deduction. I think it's going to end up probably around $20,000, something like that. So there'll be a little bit of help, but not much of a change overall in terms of what the SALT taking away that SALT deduction raised. So that tax increase is going to remain. I think overall, they proposed in the House 26.5% corporate rate. That's likely to end up at 25. Capital gains rates likely to go from 20 to 25, as well as dividends. The higher individual rate from 37 to 39.6. So, I think they're pretty close to having a consensus on the Democratic side. Of course, no Republicans are going to vote for this, but a consensus on the Democratic side what to do on taxes. And probably the biggest change is some of the prescription drug changes that they proposed. Those it looks like they're giving up on tying it to world prices and having the government set prices for not only drugs that the government buys, but also that you and I, as people who have employer coverage, would receive. So I think that is very controversial. That's going to get dropped, and so I think they're on the offsets side, the tax increases, and then a few other remaining offsets. There's, I think, pretty close to a Democratic consensus on what those things are.
Andy, I know that real quick before you go, Joe Manchin has said that the climate items are a non-starter. He wants the climate items to be taken out fully. AOC said she's not signing on to anything unless the climate items are in there. What is the chance that nothing gets done here?
I think they're going to end up with a package. I think there's 2 and 3 odds that they'll end up with a package. You know, on climate specifically, they're going to include a lot of incentives for green energy, but they're not going to make gasoline more expensive for the average person or home heating bills more expensive. So I think ultimately progressives are going to be mostly disappointed in what is done on climate. Again, it's going to be incentive subsidies, but not mandates that make energy more expensive.
Andy, it's great to have you this morning. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for having me.